Yeah, I mean, this is a map and mode that honestly, I don't even think it's a controversial take. This should not have been taken out. This got taken out in Streets, I believe Streets Oddball,
Mhm.
and they left game modes in there that and everything that should not have been in there. So I'm really happy that we kept this in here in our map pool. I'm really excited to watch these two teams play it out.
We've got an active camo, we've got a shock rifle, and we got some people that want to be able to use them. South Florida with the Bulls trying to be able to immediately make some impact plays, and they do so, but that's going to be an immediate trade as Zephyriel will drop down, and so will Young Lousy. So, the Illini and gang, again, this is all about being able to get control of that hill. Want to reset some of these spawners, and a lot of these 50-50s are going kind of wayward and chaotic as we want to find some space from underneath the bridge.
Yeah, I mean, and we're seeing some new names here on the side of Illinois. I think the paper bag is a brand new player to the team this semester. Milkshake, kind of their staple player from last year. I believe he graduated, so he's no longer playing. He's coaching this year. So that's a player definitely to keep your eye on to see how he kind of fills in the shoes of Milkshake. And I believe Combat Kid, actually, a former staple in the USF roster, he graduated but is now back for his masters. So you'll be seeing a lot more of him this semester. So happy to have him back. I'm just excited to see all these guys battle it out on this first hill. And actually, Illinois is surprising me here, almost taking this first hill.
They are driving it down, especially with Zephyriel leading the charge off of going for that killing spree. Really good roaming happening around this map. They're at 6-2 to really set the tone and set the standard. They do so against the Bulls of South Florida. And South Florida, it was about a lot of even turns. Good call out from that blue rotation as well as we're going to head towards this courtyard. Zephyriel continues to be a threat omnipotently all over this map, but the survivor right now is Lousy. We saw them early on. They're going to try and vie for the second hill.
Yeah, and honestly, all USF needs to do here, they have a good setup they can get going here. They know all of Illinois is coming from blue, so it's
Ooh.
just going to be a matter of if Illinois can break this setup, maybe push through loop or get a sneaky play through driveway. But USF seem to have a really good chokehold on this second hill here.
See if they can be able to get the fadeaway. A BR open in the hands of Combat Kid as they want to at least challenge up into this high window. They know that the spawners are basically going to go to that other side of the man lift and beyond truck. So this is a really strong position for USF. For Illini, they're going to make that long trek, but they actually may be just seeing if they need to set up to the other side of the map because this one was just a forgotten position. Now the active camo and this little dip hill is so exposed, basically trilaterally for the majority of this map. They know that that just got picked up, so that utility goes into the hands of the Bulls, and we're gonna be online with Combat Kid to see what he does with it.
Yeah, this hill is definitely a really scrappy hill. It's usually one of the longer ones besides the bottom mid hill. A lot of back and forth in the time. I do really like Illinois's play going into this third hill here to kind of chalk the second hill. They knew it was a lost cause to set up for this third hill, but it looks like it's kind of being all collapsed now as we see a four down. So USF can kind of shift their momentum back into their hands here.
You saw Combat Kid kind of force the rotation. They wanted some extra information, but they didn't stay on station for the shock rifle. So that has to go over to their teammate in Demonstrate. They're trying to demonstrate how to be able to get a quick kill from off of some of these lightning bolts as they push the ever-present threat of the Illini back down ramp. But meanwhile, USF is building a lot of time, and they have a very strong position over top, getting shot from behind is Young Lousy. They push from out of blue, but everything goes downward. That's a double kill for, I believe, Goonsy. So that's half strength here for USF. And Illini begins their scoring.
Yeah, and we can if you kind of take a look here at the kills category, I mean, I'm not gonna do the quick math in my head here, but I feel like Illinois is a little bit outslaying USF here. Gen Z is 10-3, which is super impressive. With Zafrael 11-7 now, and the paper bags actually he's keeping up pretty good here. 5-5. Not negative. So that's a huge thing to see out of them. But USF is all kind of on the same level. So I feel like we're in for a really good matchup here. Really back and forth. Is this third hill? Illinois is almost able to claim it here. And they
Ooh,
just might. And they do.
love that upper position. You take that little box and you hide up onto that wall. You can be able to protect and find that just highward angle to get some extra information. So this is basically the nade spam corner. So third hill, always a tough spot to try and take the lead forward. USF taking advantage of some of that cross rotation from the Illini as they move to that mid lane. See if they can catch him. Nice beat down from out of that window. And USF, they may have been here first. They're trying to be able to get rid of the Illini. They go 3 down, so Zafrael's by themselves. I think they're just going to be streaking down to the low side of this ramp, so it's now about can the Bulls be able to protect Lousy? And you had mentioned that kill column. It's basically a two-headed Hydra for the Illini, but everyone contributing for them out of the Bulls.
Yeah, and one thing I want to note about this hill specifically is there
Oh!
are nice double kill. Looks like Devon Straight is gonna miss the camo though. But as I was saying, there are plasma grenades in the back corner there by Tram, and a certain player by the name of Soap is known to be very lethal with the sticky grenades. So I'll be curious to see if we start seeing those come into play, but you will almost 100% see a sticky play out of him this series.
Gotta be careful. If you're Devon Stray, they give themselves away. They get at least one down, but they did not use the entirety of that active camo. So that allows Illini, or at least Illinois, to try and stay further into this corner. So they're going to take up a nice window position. Goonsey gets caught as they were clambering. Both Spartans, absolute. Zafrael has 2 to have to tango with. A very big ego chalice. Both of them were absolutely armorless. That's going to be a swing and a suffering of a KO as Demonstrate will put him to bed. It is nearly even kills across the board for every single bull. And they're just about 10 seconds out from taking this into a tied 2-2.
Yeah, I think right here Illinois they just need to chalk this hill like they did the last time and set up. They have the spawns for this next hill here on benches. So they just need to live and grit together here. But we'll have to see if Soap can take, I don't know which player that is right there. And that was the paper bag, but he gets traded out. So it's going to be back and forth here for a little bit. It'll just come down to who can really gather their team together and hold down these spawns.
Tough upper platform as well to have to break into, and this is a great position, especially now that they have the shock rifle to punish anyone from out of USF who wants to streak across from blue to truck. So they have to take a low ground position. Goonsey unawares, and it's because all these distracting players from USF, they're getting very hurt, but they do at least force the Illini to be looking straight towards them from out of that tower. Meanwhile, that entire time that they had a view across this map, they've been building some extra time. But that's going to be a position that's flipped, as Soap will now have a chance both at the shock rifle and to see Illinois coming up.
Yeah, and I want to see what Soap here does with the shock rifle. He's in a kind of a weird position here, but honestly, if he can make a play to kind of get a pick or two, but as I say that, he does go down, and Illinois has 3 players up here on the hill, and Cosmic gets a great kill onto, I think it was Young Lousy. And I also want to take a moment. Can we talk about how Gen Z is 19 and 8, like over almost either almost or double positive? Like that is insane. What a game out of him so far.
That's efficient work right now. That getting 10 assists as well. They're spreading the love and spreading the fear into the Bulls as they again regain this lead. We go back to hill number 1 underneath this bridge. Going to be some clearance. Great drop off from Soap, trying to make sure that Illinois cannot get some feet on the ground. They do so as everyone from Window and all of these Illinois players, they have a high ground, but they're just getting caught out by USF from off angles. So good looks right now, Naz, as USF wants to try and tie this up before we go to maybe a final 7th hill.
Yeah, this is gonna be a really scrappy hill. This bottom mid hill, I mean, it's one of the hardest hills to hold. It's the worst point on in the entire map here. So this is gonna be a bloodbath. But the thing that Illinois has here to their advantage is if they can just if they can get a 4 dead on USF, they can kind of put them on the back foot to the point where they have to desperate because Illinois doesn't need that hill. Worst case, USF gets this hill, it's tied game. So Illinois has that advantage, but USF almost has this hill, so that advantage is very quickly slipping away from them.
If you are UIUC, you have to recognize that this hill stops right here, that your entire spawn is going to be going back towards that C plat. You'll be the furthest point of the map away from going and challenging into this plaza. Instead, they can maybe just take this hill away from USF. USF is going to be caught on all sides, diving in from upper blue and into this dip. Illinois has some good intel. The comms are up, half strength. Now both from out of that U-bend. Are they going to steal this away from the Bulls? Playing around that mid pillar. They're tracking 1 down, bouncing out the frag. They have at least another player from off of that turn. They just have to get a little bit of time. They might be able to steal it from behind. Soap is challenging straight into it. They will force hill 7.
Oh my god, I thought they were going to pull that out. We didn't really see it. It kind of was off camera. but I keep butchering his name. It's either Gunzi or Jens, whatever. He was one shot on pillar and lived and got a double kill off of that. If Soap loses that pib on that bottom mid hill, Illinois is taking that hill. I can tell you that.
Wild turn right now here for Illinois as they saw themselves at least pushing USF to the brink. This hill's already gone.
Enemy team took the hill.
Trying to be able to get a stick. That's a nice beat down by Soap to get rid of Comic. Turn that page onto another chapter. Illinois will drop out a couple players. They're trying to go reset. The Bulls, now they have to step off of sight. Lousy trying to track down the man that just got rid of his teammate, and both are just twos each. There's a lot of extra bonus on here, Naz, as USF might be able to steal this game.
As the numbers here on this hill, I mean, they kind of let USF respawn here a little bit, but now it's 3 dead. They neutralized this hill very well. Now, honestly, for them, it's just a matter of holding the
Enemy team nearing
spread
victory.
out all the angles. USF might have time to make a collapse here if they do it correctly. This is good. This is gonna go down the end. He just needs a little bit more time. USF!
Demonstrate,
Oh,
make it
what
a
triple kill!
They cleared the board. Can they get the Ovi? They're going to be cycling from around this pole. And they actually get cleared out. They
he gets killed!
It literally needs one
There's no one
singular
from Illinois.
second. Illinois across the map. Can USF be able to just shut them down? I don't think the timer's going to be in their favor. They were trying to jump in for the window. But that's exactly where they end up dying. And it's USF flying through to take this King of the Hill. What a glorious map #1 to kick off this series. This S7 is going to be preyed upon immediately. You got this one, you got the camo on the other side, and you got the QT that you can be able to go and hop over if you want to go towards green. So who do you put in the hands of? Who do you trust as your major sniper slayer for both these teams? Pick one each.
I think in the side of USF, I'm gonna put Combat with that sniper to be the main slayer here, and I think for Illinois, I want to say Genzi. I mean, he was the first one to be like hit that 20 kill threshold between him and Zafrael, but it's pretty close between those two.
See if that all pans out right now. It goes 2-2 even Stevens, and you know the bare difference is all the fighting from underneath mid. So South Florida sees themselves just barely on the latter end of this as we will go towards active camo, but the spawn for this heavily favors the Bulls. They're going to be towards that window position, and that's demonstrate as they demonstrate how to put a Spartan into a body bag very quickly. But that utility has not been picked up. So they're going to be guarding it for the foreseeable future. They're going to try and wedge them from out of window, and knowing where they were sitting, they were able to hunt them down, and now that weapon changes hands.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal play from Comic there. I mean, Devonshire was a little tunnel vision there, like on the camo, and really didn't see the flank coming from Comic, but they're able to get the snipe, and I believe the camo in their hands too, so this could get really messy for USF quickly if they don't take care of the QT player.
Illinois needs to find a kind of a resiliency play through this entire Slayer. QT is going to send that one away, but you just had that Koth taken away from you. You don't want to have to deal with that one being taken again. It looks like they've at least mellowed out the field. Had the early power weapon. They're going to run out from this engagement as Comic sees their teammates dying out. That means some information is being gained by USF where they've sequestered one player, but they're getting slapped from behind. Through the first 26 kills, we're dead even.
Yeah, Zafrael just needs to live here. I mean, he has a free S7 sniper here with 5 bullets in it. If he could just live and grab a pick, I mean, this would be phenomenal momentum change here back into the... I mean, they're still up by 1, but, you know, USF is kind of chipping away at that lead a little bit. It's a great pick here. I think this is going to go down to the wire here. I mean, this has been back and forth so far.
So far, so good. And for every single point of contact, you've also not at least had a trade forthcoming. So good looks to just continuously put that pressure onto him. That S7 changes hands, and maybe not the way you wanted it. If it's USF, that's going to be a soft double kill. As again, it's the Brotherhood of the Traveling S7. Who gets to wear it next? That's a great trade-off as Zafrael, 11 and 5, truly leading the squad. Trying to put a boomstick in the side of yet another green player. They side out Combat Kid, and they're going to use that last shot. This one's going to be another active camo picked up by the Illini as they should be able to walk out.
Yeah, I was kind of funny that I feel like that S7 sniper would probably touch the hands of just about every single player on both teams there. But once again, the
Enemy
camo
halfway
goes
to
into the hands of
victory.
Illinois, and they're now up a 5 kill lead, and they could really now start to put the pressure onto USF. We're starting to cross that halfway point threshold in the Slayer map, and that's honestly where a whole new level of Slayer is played. Once you hit that like 30-point threshold, everyone starts to be a lot more self-aware about their movement, their placement on the map, and things are going to slow down a little bit.
Zephyriel was tracking who had the QT and where they were able to go to. Devon Straight ended up escaping over towards that A plat, and now this S7 trying to be an impact. No scope off the face shot straight up into his visor. So Devon Straight, they immediately put him to bed. Pick that one from off the ground. Now I get hype, but it's still a 3-kill lead right now for the Illini.
Yeah, that was an absolutely disgusting play there from Devon Straight, and that's going to take a couple more of those plays, I think, for USF to come back in this map 2 here against Illinois. I feel like Illinois has a really good grasp and game plan for this right now. They have Milkshake coaching them. I think that honestly might be a factor into it. They kind of have that fifth voice. If they start to get staggered or just kind of flying in and dying, they have that fifth voice to tell them, slow down, get back together here and reset. Versus USF, it's just the 4 guys there. It's up to them to bring themselves back in if they're reeling away.
Sometimes it's easier to, just have that little bit of extra advisor to be like, hey, cool it. It's very difficult to do so in the moment. QT online right now for Devon Straight. This is the second time that they've had this utility. So basically keeping the QT for the Bulls, and for the Illini, they're making sure to consistently get that active camo, but that's a fantastic trade. Only a 2-kill lead, 15 to go. If you're Illinois, you're trying to maintain this one as they're being beat down, and now it's even all the way around.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of expected it to come back even. We're here at that halfway point. And I think now, if a team can get a full team wipe here and start pulling away, this camo's coming up, this could be end game. We could start seeing the end game plays here start transpiring.
See if they can be able to get themselves towards that camo. That's going to go towards Lousy, so they get more of that. Spiked to death, 38-37. Coming down to the wire, I see a lot of Slayers, and often it's measured where you are once you've hit those 30 bombs. For both teams, they are nipping at each other's heels. If you're Illinois, this is starting to feel a little bit too much like that King of the Hill that you just lost. 40 hit first. Laozi trying to do it one more time, see if they get to a 40 first and force Illinois back.
Yeah, this camo here that Lousy has been absolutely crucial for USF to now take a 4-point lead here, almost 5. It's still gonna be 4. Great trade there by Illinois. Illinois just needs to, if they want to save this spiraling that they have going on right now, they need to take care of this camo player, and they do not. But they just need to take a deep breath. They're only down by 5. This could still flip back into their favor.
Only being down by 5 seems like a mountain to climb, considering that they were holding onto a 3-kill lead. It's suddenly 7, 2 full team wipeouts, and staggered out spawns. Illinois is on the ropes, and it's gone from bad to worse, but to great for USF. The Bulls just need to hunt down 1 single kill. All of Illinois is running away. They can be able to get a trade out. They throw 2 Spartans into A, and they come out the better of it. That's gonna be USF. And if you are Illinois, looking down now at an 0-2 Gauntlets, that has gotta feel like 2 games they've let slip.
So personally, I'm not diving for that right away, but we do need to get that control. I think off rip here, getting the sniper control is going to be really crucial, and we saw Devon Straight make some gross plays with the sniper rifle off rip, so we'll have to see if he can get that in his hands.
Go into a very necessary and pivotal game number 3 for Illini Orange to try and get into this series. They've been in it, but they have not owned it. USF goes 3 down immediately in the first 15 seconds, with Devon Straight being the lone survivor. So Paper Bag wants to flip this crate position. You were talking about A and B being very strong, and so they go for the dual sides down south, whereas Devon Straight otherwise did in fact pick up the boomstick. They're gonna get a fadeaway jumper on Zephyriel.
Yeah, I mean, this is... I mean, I'm just a little speechless here. Oh my god, another snipe here from Devon Straight. I mean, I called it out at the beginning. If they can get this in his hands, this could get really messy here for Illinois. Really fast. He's only got 4 bullets left, but 4 bullets could be 4 kills. You never know.
A lethal demonstration as well here by Devon Straight, who continues to just own this window section as now they've controlled B. We're talking about the snowball, and it looks like they can have exactly that to be able to just get in and get out. Like the quick jet play is just be able to kind of guide themselves probably towards that green room slide so they can go back towards A, knowing that much of the respawns are just going to be moving towards this red to ramp end. Illinois has gone 2 down and 30 points plus unequivocally for the Bulls as they continue to challenge over into B. This is going to be demonstrated. He still has a few shots left to ring out, and they're hoping to rotate from the sewer side, but Laozi is just not letting them have anything easily, and that's going to be a killing spree off of their second life with a double kill to boot.
Yeah, I mean, USF, they have that, you know, as we talked about in the beginning, they have the perfect setup here. Illinois is just kind of feeding into it, like I mentioned before. If you can get them into that red chokehold and they can't figure a way to break out of it, they're just going to keep feeding into it. What Illinois needs to do here, I mean, they're kind of making a break a little bit through here, red, but they need to spawn up together and play through ice and break through that ace point and take cargo and take the B side. But they're going to do it the other way. I tip my hat to it. It can be done both ways. This way they're doing it now is just a little bit harder.
I had a remote detonation to kind of slow the roll out of the Illini, but they still at least get through, and for all of a single punctuation do get themselves on the board, but it was very briefly lived. So regaining control are the Bulls, and in fact they want to trip cap this situation and start getting double points. The confidence is there, and the cool thing about getting that trip cap, it not only forces the hands out of Illini, but now they can basically surge down upon them as they get a quick succession of points. That's going to be a double flip though, done the other direction. As soon as you track down where A is, look at B and C under threat.
I thought Illinois was going to get that B flip there, but luckily USF had another teammate there to come and save that hill from being flipped. I was going to say the triple cap, you know, while it's super powerful, can be really punishing on this map because it kind of messes up spawns a little bit. But now it seems to be a little bit back and forth, and we're seeing both teams flip points back and forth, so we'll have to see who can get back into that setup.
Comeback Kid hanging out into bin 10 room. The Omnitrix is not going to let them transform into anything that will save their lives, so they do take over A. Finally cresting over 20 points right now is Illinois. Do at least push up as they aim to take over bridge side, and they want to own both B and maybe have that S7 spawn, but as soon as they vacate that crate's position from A, look who's breathing down their neck. That's USF. They want to steal out B. It's a tough position to take over, and if they can be able to win it, then they have to force the Bulls' hands. Demonstrate on the escape route. Comic's not going to let that happen.
Yeah, and now it looks like Illinois, you know, I was about to say that they look like they have a setup forming, but they just went 3 dead, so I think that went out the window really fast. Yep, I was wrong.
Sometimes best laid plans and all those hijinks, right? Soap is able to take down a couple with the sidekick, and they're gonna let him know Soap is not having any of it. They're 8-6 right now, but each of those fights have really been punishing against Illinois. Over 105 points at this point in time are the Bulls. They've really not relinquished much territory nor space. Comeback Kid finds one, and they get another trade out, an unofficial double, but going 3 down are the Bulls.
Yeah, I mean, Combat Kid, I want to shout him out. We talked about him being back this semester. 14-5 map 3 here. So I think a lot of the success right now for USF is coming on to him. He is absolutely flying right now. And also, can we get a W Shyway, my bad, my apologies. W Shyway in the chat, rated with a party of 82. Thank you.
Heck yeah. Welcome everyone. This is some week 1 antics for College Halo as we are in day 2 after what was a great doubleheader out of YCP from them, UNA, and Oklahoma on Tuesday. And now you've got yourself some University of South Florida versus the Fighting Illini, who are fighting for their absolute lives right now on Stronghold's Lattice. Soap receives some of their own medicine, a double flip forthcoming from out of Illini on BNC.
Yeah, and Illinois showing some life here. We got 3 dead out of the side of the Bulls here. So, you know, Illinois has the setup kind of. Every time I say it, they keep losing it. So maybe I just need to stop saying it. But they're still in this. There's still a lot of this map to be played here. Even though the Bulls have a very commanding, you know, over 100-point lead here, it's never over.
It's Gonna take a huge amount of effort, and that's exactly why this is such a frustrating game type, because you have to be so well set up both for right now and the future, especially how you want to be able to rotate this out. As they have been present onto these sites, USF has been lurking and lunging to take advantage of when they vacate. Illinois has not dictated where the spawns are gonna go. Everything's been very reactive, trying to just find a way through. Paper Bag looks like they're stuck inside of one, as they are just down in that hallway. 20-6 is Combat Kid. Everyone dropping out, half strength. Illinois wants to take over B. It's a trip cap, and they're hearing this clock go way too fast against them.
Yeah, and I think now with this triple cap coming in, the Bulls are just forcing Illinois to get into this desperate panic mode. I mean, they're down 2-0. They can see this map just trickling away from them now. It's gonna come into that panic play, and if anyone can make a god play, I think we might be in the end stages of this. As we see a stick, it didn't come out of Soap, but it came out of Combat Kid to add to his stats of 21-6 now.
This is a tough one for Illini. They had a couple of close calls that ended up going sideways against them through our Solitude King of the Hill and through our Live Fire Slayer. They just couldn't keep track of the pace from out of the Bulls. And now the Bulls, well, they've given the horns to the Illini. 2:05 and climbing. This clock has not stopped and the scoring's happening, but A and C are under threat. Soap wants to take this S7 away from an Illini player, and he's literally just hunting him down.
Yeah, and we see some naughty disrespect coming out of Soap. You know, nothing new with that. I'm surprised we didn't see it earlier, but I think it's just now a matter of time. The Wolves are just gonna close this one out. We do see a 3 dead. Come on, Illinois. There's still life. It ain't over yet, but I've seen enough, I think, to call this one maybe. Maybe.
Call this one maybe. That was the most lukewarm decision I've ever heard.
I don't want to say it because I've been so wrong already. With every time I say they're in a setup, they lose it. So I want to say, oh, they're gonna come back, and then they're not. So
that was the most neutral. Like, tell my wife I said hello. A and B under control by Illinois. B is gonna be where maybe the final territory and final team fight happens. They're gonna take that QT over in the hands of Combat Kid, who's 23-8, by the way, setting this one up in Ice and Sewer. They're gonna go from underneath, scoring continuing. They're aiming to steal A. They're gonna shut down that B flip, and I think this definitely is the end of the road.
Yeah, I mean, that kid now 24-8. Utingo at 25. Can he get the 30 bomb before this ends? But I mean, it's over. It's over. I'm not gonna be neutral anymore. It's over.
Good call. Well, there's still some drama. They want to be able to get to B. That's going to be a quick QT just to see the rest of Lattice, but that's going to be all of a tour that ends shortly. 250-68, opposite of our first 2 games, a dominant foray into a 3-0 sweep. That's 1-0 here for the Bulls out of the University of South Florida.